What's going on, guys? I'm Prongs, and this is my 2015 Diamond Street Butler. So I'm having a charging issue on it, and we're going to figure that out today. So what I'm going to discuss today is how to properly diagnose an entire charging system. I went on YouTube, was looking for a good video that gave me all the proper numbers that I should have been looking for. I have a tech book, I lost it, couldn't find it, then I ended up finding it. Then I realized there's still no good videos on YouTube, so that's where we're at. All right, let's talk about the charging system. So right here, behind your primary, you have a rotor and a stator. The rotor rotates around the stator. It has magnets on it. It's a big cup-looking thing. The stator is it should be gold. If you pull it out and it's brown and it smells, or if you pull the oil from here and it smells burnt, it's your stator, usually. The stator has coils on it and it's got wire wrapped around it. The rotation of the magnets around the stator creates AC voltage. So the difference between AC voltage and DC voltage needs to be brought into consideration here. So AC voltage is what you have in your house. It's what comes out of your outlets. That's AC voltage. DC voltage is what runs your turn signals. It's what runs the computers. It's what runs everything. It's what we in the electrical world call clean voltage. So the power comes from here into your regulator rectifier, which is right here on your motorcycle. It's got the fins on it, if you don't know what you're looking for. So it runs in here, comes in the bottom, comes out of the bottom, goes back. So the regulator rectifier regulates how much voltage actually gets to your battery, and it rectifies AC voltage into DC voltage by the use of diodes. If you had LED light emitting diode, that's what a diode is. It just allows electrical current to run one way and one way only. All right, so the first thing you want to test is the stator. So when you're looking at the stator, you're going to test at 1,000 RPM, 2,000 RPM, and 3,000 RPM. So the first thing you're going to have to do is have a good battery, a battery that has enough to get the bike started and going. So that's the only thing I've tested on this. I've got 12.3 volts, so I should be good to get it started and do this test. So at 1,000 RPM, you should be getting 16 to 22 volts AC, not DC, AC. You're going to do it at 2,000 RPM, you want another 16 to 22 volts. So you're 22 volts, 1,000 RPM, 44 volts, 2,000 RPM, 66 volts, 3,000 RPM. In that range. After that, you want to test resistance. You want to test resistance because you want to make sure there's no opens or any open to ground, which means that the wire is touching a ground, or any just loose contact. So for ohm, you're going to set your meter on ohms. You're going to do 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 3, and you should be getting 0.1 to 0.3 ohms across that. So, and we'll do that first because it's quiet. But if you got a multimeter, that guy is voltage AC. That's voltage DC, and that little symbol right there, that's your ohms. That's what you need to be testing with. So, we are going to pull this out. You have to lift up on the tab that you can't see. So, we're going to pop that guy up, which I've already done, but realized you couldn't see it, so let's start it over. Pull that out. You got 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. It could be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It really doesn't matter. So we'll test ohms first. Hopefully not getting you guys motion sickness. It's my first video, so whatever. I don't have all the shit that I need. Yeah, so I got on those. I got 0.2 ohms. So I'm going to move one of these. Yeah. 0.1 ohms. And then I'm going to move that one.
and I've got 0.1 ohms, 0.2 ohms. All right. Next, what I'm going to do is test voltage AC, which is the one it's pointing at, coming out of here. That's going to tell me the quality of the stator.
So what you just saw me doing there is I was checking the voltage, AC voltage across 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and 3 and 2. I did that at 1,000 RPM, 2,000 RPM, and 3,000 RPM. Remember, you want 16 to 22 volts AC per 1,000 RPM. That tested out fine. I was reading about 20.1 volts AC. At 1,000 RPM, I was reading about 40.1 volts AC at 2,000 RPM, and I was reading just 59 RPM, or 59 volts AC at 3,000 RPM. So my stator and rotor are fine. The next thing I want to go ahead and test is my regulator rectifier.
So I actually I would use my work multimeter to do this test. This is called a ferret, this loop. So you wrap this around an electrical cable, not a strap, and it'll read how much voltage is running through that loop. But there is no room at all to get into there. So this right here, that cable right there, the plug, that is what I'm trying to test. There's no room to do that. So it's not really logical. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my positive and negative leads on the battery terminal itself, and I'm gonna test to see what kind of voltage I'm getting now. At 3,000 RPM, you should be getting 13 volts, at least, at a minimum. So I'm gonna run that test and see what's going on.
Are you in good hands? Let's get this baby. So I'm reading 13.45 at 3,000 RPM. So my charging system is actually okay. What that means, says my bike is dying while I'm riding it down the road, and my battery is dead when I get it home, that means I have what's called a amp draw. So something somewhere is making contact to ground. A hot wire is making a contact to ground, and it is draining my battery faster than my charging system can charge the bike. I'm not gonna do a whole video on that just because that's a lot of work, but I got to go into it, figure out where I'm losing my power. But that's about it for testing your entire charging system. If you get to that point, most people will do that test first to see if they have a charging issue, but I wanted to do it for you from the first part to the last part. That way you're not just sitting there waiting. But it's news to me too. I didn't know my charging system worked. I thought it did not work. So we'll figure it out. I hope this video helps, and I'm sure it was a little shaky, not the best, but it has the good information that you actually need. So have a good one.